Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I told you guys earlier during the week that I was going to do a video with me and my wife that I had a subject that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to talk about it with myself because there's also a woman's point of view on it. So the topic was that I want to talk about is, can you come back from cheating in a relationship? Can you fix that, and can you come back from that? So I have my own point of view. I didn't tell her what the topic was going to be because I don't want her to think about it overnight or for a few days, because I thought about this maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and so I didn't want her to be able to think about an answer, just to know, to come out the top of the head and know, give you her point of view, and then I give my point of view. So what do you think about that? Can you come back from being cheated on? I won't say cheating because you can. If you're the cheater, it's so easy to come back from it. It's being cheated on.
I think there's different perspectives on it. I even think if the cheater cheats, either one, he's super regretful, but then is he regretful because he or she got caught? Or is she regretful because she cheated? So there's different views of looking at it.
No, but I'm talking about,
can the relationship?
I'm saying not being the cheater. I'm talking about being cheated on. Being the cheater, yeah, you can always come back from that. There's no problem with that. If you cheated on me, it's easy for you to come back from it. But what about me? You're not brokenhearted about it. I am, or vice versa. So I'm saying being cheated on.
That one's really hard. It just depends on. I think it would be extremely difficult to come back from it, but I have seen couples still stay together after cheating. But I mean, there has to be a lot of changes that occur. There has to be a lot of uncomfortable conversations that have to happen in order for that to even be an option, to see if they can even work on it. To sit down at the table and be open and raw and honest and be like, this is why, when, who, where, all of those things are going to be going through that person that got cheated on, to even consider, is it worth staying and working on it? I think it would decide too, if you have kids, if you have properties, if you have a lot of time invested in it, it's the length of the time, I think, too. There's just so many different factors. Me personally, if I got cheated on, I couldn't stay.
Why?
Because it would always be in the back of my mind. Because I would feel like if I wasn't good enough I've been cheated on. I've been in relationships where I got cheated on. And one thing I can honestly say is, when I walked away from the relationship, I was one of those females that put up with a lot. And I always gave it 110%, and I only got maybe half of that in return, which, looking back on it with maturity and life experience, that was my bad. I should have walked away a long time ago. I kind of set myself up for some things to happen. There were a lot of red flags, but when I can honestly say I've never gone back to an ex, ever. When I broke up with somebody, I walked away because I know I gave it 110, 150% to that relationship. And if that person chose to hurt me, disrespect me, cheat on me, whatever it was, I put up with a lot and I gave a lot of opportunities for that person to change. And if they didn't, then I'm done. Done. Walk away. I have never gone back to an ex. It would always be, for me, if that were to happen, it would be, obviously it was very emotional. It was very heartbreaking. I always felt like I was never good enough. I was never pretty enough, young enough, whatever it was. And I couldn't do it personally. I couldn't do it.
Something all the stuff you said earlier just went out the window because you.
But that was for me personally. For me personally, I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
but I know there's people out there that do take a lot. There's a lot of factors in it. The length of, do they have kids? I know people who stay because of the kids. And then, 25 years into the marriage later, when the kids are grown and move out, they're done. They're like, why? He was abusive. He cheated on me all the time. I stayed for the kids. That's another one. Should people stay for the kids? To me, no.
As far as cheating, or just stay in a relationship?
In a relationship, even for the kid, if there's kids and cheating,
fuck those kids. It ain't worth it.
It's not.
It's not worth it. The cheating part, no. They ain't coming back from that shit. Not for me. That happened to me one time, and that was it. And she tried to crawl back to me less than a year later, and I was like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that. I ain't having all that bullshit." Even though
you were cheating?
I was cheating on her for fucking the whole time we were together.
Was this wife number 2?
Yeah. Cheated on the whole relationship.
If you guys haven't watched Marriage Number 2, watch it.
When it came out to me, he was like, "Nah, I already know how I feel, so why the fuck would I do that?" You know what I mean? I already know that I wasn't gonna stop doing what I was doing, so what made me think that she was gonna stop doing what she's doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, nah, I'm not doing all that bullshit. You ain't no coming back from. Once you're done, you're done. And it's because it's not just, it's how it happens. Mm-hmm. A lot of the times, cheating happens, especially it's on men too. But, a lot of social media shit. It's a lot of social media shit.
I think now social media plays a large part.
That's the easiest way to do it. That's the easiest way to get away with it, is because of social media. Because I remember when social media was like really, really started getting really popular, like the Facebook and MySpace.
MySpace, yeah. I had MySpace.
It was so easy to fucking get married women. It was so easy. It was just, and after doing it for so long, then it's like, yeah, I wouldn't put myself in that situation. As far as how easy it was to get to married women off of social media, it's like, yeah, no, I wouldn't accept it. People that use the excuse like, oh, I need to do it for my kids. That's bullshit.
I call them martyrs. I call those people martyrs. I've had, close family members or friends that, they'll come to me and they're heartbroken and I caught him, or this is what's been happening. And I'm like, obviously they know why. There's always flags that kind of lead up to stuff like that. You see it, unless it's someone like you from like when you were younger in your past relationships where you were just a cheater. You were a cheater. You were always prepared for plan B and plan C, but there's men out there that do. That's just, they think, oh, I'm a man, that's in my DNA, and that's just how it is. I can't see myself being with the same woman. To me, it's like, well, then you shouldn't be with the same woman. Don't, then go out there and do you, but don't tie someone down, or give that person the opportunity to even be honest and say, this is how it's going to be. This is how it is if you're going to be with me. But that stuff doesn't last. It doesn't last. I really feel like it's really hard to come back from cheating. Although I have seen it.
I've never seen that.
I have.
You know somebody that's like that right now? I don't have to say their name, but you know somebody that's with somebody that they got cheated on, they're still with that person? Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Not that I can think of.
Yeah. They're older now. They're older now.
I don't give a fuck if I'm 80. You fucking start doing things.
Same. Yeah.
Shit. But, that old saying, it's cheaper to keep her, that's not true. That's not true. That's fucking bullshit lie. It's not cheaper to keep her. You got kids. You're married to that person. It's not cheaper. You're still, it costs you more money in the long run. You're paying child support in the end, and I think it's after 5 years you have to pay alimony.
Yeah.
After 5 years you pay alimony. So you're with that person for 10 years. After you split up, you're paying child support and you're paying 5 years alimony to that person because the laws are not made for men; they're made for women. I don't know why she needs you to give her money. You know what I mean? Child support I can understand, but you have to give a woman money because she's no longer with you. That's, to me, that's bullshit. But it's not cheaper to keep her because you're paying now her 5 years plus you're paying for the kids for however long you're gonna pay for them.
You know, I never went after my ex for child support. Just didn't do it. I was more of, if you can't step up and do that on your own, why am I going to make the court system do it? Obviously, you don't want to do it if I have to go through the court system to do it. So, kids grow up and they see the truth, and that's just, I struggled and it was hard, but I never took my ex for child support, ever. I never even considered it, thought about it. I would ask. Sometimes the money would come in, sometimes it wouldn't, but I never thought about going to court and making them pay. The stress, the stress of going to court back and forth. I know you did a video on that with your ex. It's just my sanity and my happiness is it's very, very important to me. And I think I've talked about this before. There is absolutely no cost too great for peace and happiness. It's priceless to me. So I'm not going to drag some guy to court that doesn't want to do it on his own. It's not in me. I don't want to do it. I could do it on my own, and I always did. I mean, my son and I struggled, and it was really hard. But he's a great, it takes a village. My family was there to help me.
No. I did like, what, 25, 26 years
Yeah,
of
that's
child support?
crazy.
25, 26 years, but that is a lesson right there. Don't fuck with broke women because you're gonna be paying a lot of motherfucking child support. Um, but then there comes the alimony. You gotta pay that shit if you've been together because I know somebody that was married to somebody else for about I don't know, let me see, over 30 years. And if they file for a fucking divorce, that's 15 years of that person paying alimony to the other person.
Oh, my ex was paying child support and alimony. It was $4,800 a month
Yes.
for, I want to say 9 years or 8 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was a lot. It's a lot of money.
But, back to the whole cheating thing, like, for my opinion, no. There's no, but I'm talking about from a man's perspective, but I do know there's men out there that will take women back. But it's always in your head. It's always in your head. And little by little, it'll fucking drive you crazy because you're always going to wonder every time they leave the house, when they don't answer their phone, they don't answer their text messages, you know what I mean, where they're going. You always have questions now, and it'll stay like that. And I don't think there's ever anything that can bring you back from that. So if you're going through that kind of shit, in my opinion, is like, get rid of her or get rid of him, whoever it is, get rid of them. You're wasting fucking time now. Time is something you can't get back, and especially like I think that way now too because of what I'm going through. The cancer. So it's like you ain't gonna get your time back. You're wasting fucking time being with somebody that you know that you're gonna constantly be wondering what the fuck they're doing. And not only that, but you also gotta think about this. And it's a hard thing for motherfucking, especially men, to think about. It's a very hard thing for a man to really think about it, and that shit will go through your mind, and that is that other guy fucking your woman.
Oh,
That
yeah.
other guy fucking your woman in different positions and all, and in hotel rooms, in the car, wherever you go. You know what I mean? That will always stay in your fucking mind that there was another man that's out there that was fucking your woman,
Oh
and you
yeah,
don't know if that dude's still doing it.
yeah. Women think that way too, because we talk amongst each other, and it's like what always runs in my head or their head when we're talking. It's like it's when you're being intimate with your husband, boyfriend, whatever. You kind of get lost. You lose of that. You lose. You're not in that moment anymore. Your head starts going, was he doing this with her? Was this what they were doing? Like, it's just all of these things just start running through your head. It's really hard to come back from that.
Yeah, but I don't think that the guys. I don't think that people really think too much into that. I mean, that will always cross their mind. But when you decide that you want to take that person back, just know that's just gonna be in your head. Whenever you're with your woman, your husband, it's gonna be in your head. After you're done with doing what you're doing with them, it's gonna be in your head. You know what I mean? And then for the person that was cheating,
Life is going to be hard for that
well,
person.
no, but
They're
the
going to
thing
be
is,
questioned.
no, but not only that, but if you're cheating, okay, say from a man's point of view, you're cheating, I'm cheating, and she does shit that you don't do, but I decide I'm gonna stay with you, I'm always gonna think about that. And I'm gonna eventually go back to that because she's doing what you don't do. I'm trying to save a relationship and all that stuff like that, but I'm always gonna think about her in my mind because she does shit that you don't do. And I enjoy what she does. You are boring and she's not. You see what I mean? And I can't tell you now, like, hey, why don't you do this or why don't we do that? Because then you're gonna say like, oh, why? Because that's the way that bitch was. And so I can't even bring that shit up now. Once the guy fucking around and cheats and gets caught, he can never bring that kind of shit up to you. A lot of the times, guys stay cheating with a fucking woman because of the shit that she does. But once she gets caught, there's no way I can go to you and say, hey, why don't we try this? If you ever say, why? That's what that bitch is doing for you? Then it brings that shit up. So now here we go. You're stirring the fucking pot. It's like, oh, now I gotta deal with this bullshit now. Or, when I was doing it and when I finally got caught and I told her, I said, look, man, you take me back? Okay. Don't ever bring it up again. I don't ever want to hear about it. I don't want to see you crying about it. Don't fucking tell me nothing. I don't want to hear about it because you accepted it. You want me back. So don't tell me nothing about it. I don't want to ever fucking hear about it. If you bring the shit up again, then we're done. So I put that shit out there. And so she never did. But she went and did her own thing later on. And they fucked everything all up. She cheated on me, and it was what it was. But I ended after that. I'm done. Fuck you. You were stupid enough to take me back. That's the way I looked at it.
Because you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take you back if you do it to me. But if you want to take you back, you're the fucking ignorant one. Just like I told you with my ex when she was always accusing me. Before I was with you, she always accused me, always accused me. I said, well, you're the dumb one. You're the fucking idiot because you're still sitting right here. You're accusing me. You accuse me every time I leave this house, but yet you're still fucking sitting right here. So you're the fucking idiot. So now I know I can go cheat on you because you're still here. So you fucked yourself. You know what I mean? But like I said, I told her my ex-wife, don't ever bring that shit up again because if you do, I'm done. And she didn't bring it up, but she went on and did it herself. But like I was saying, for a fucking man, he's gonna always think that way. He's gonna always think like, fuck, what was she doing with this dude? You know what I mean? And
Well,
how do you
that's
live
human nature.
But how do you live comfortable?
You don't.
Okay, so then how does it work?
I don't know.
That's the thing. It can't. To me, that's why I say it can't work. You can try and try and try, but I think little by little it's gonna break down. Just little by little, it's gonna end. And then when it does fucking end, it ends bad. It never ends good. You know what I mean? Like I was trying my last relationship. I was trying to end the shit good. I tried to say, hey, you know what? I'm done. That's it. But for her, it wasn't that easy. For me, it was that easy. I'm done. I'm tired of this shit.
Well, because you're the one ending it. So there's always one person ending it, or that, and the other one's not ready for it.
But then in that situation, for you people, if somebody's trying to end something with you, just accept it.
They're not happy.
That's it. Because it's gonna fucking fail. They're gonna cheat on you, or they're gonna leave you anyway. It doesn't fucking matter. They don't want to be with you no more. So just say, okay, fuck it. It's not too hard to say, okay, fuck it. You know what I mean? But a lot of, especially, I want to say women. They also stay in it for financial reason
Mm-hmm.
because they ain't got the same kind of money that the man's got. Usually, the man's got the makes the majority of the money. And so now she's no longer going to be used to the lifestyle she lives. So she's like, fuck it. I got to deal with it because, I can't live without this motherfucker. I got to go get a roommate. Or I got to fucking live in somebody else's house. I got to go back to my parents' house. Financially, you can't, it's not going to work for you. You're gonna have the kids the most of the time. You're gonna be the ones that are struggling the most of the time. Yes, he's gonna be paying you child support, but he's still not gonna struggle as bad as you're gonna struggle having kids and shit like that. Unless you're getting alimony and a good amount of child support, well then
Right.
you just fucked him over and he's struggling. So I think that a lot of women though they stay in relationships for the financial reasons also. Not
Mm-hmm.
I don't I think once it happens, once a woman cheats on a man cheats on a woman, I think that women don't let shit go. That's one thing that they don't do. I think men will let things go a little bit more than women, but women cannot let shit go.
There's men out there that do the
There is, but the
exact same
majority of the
thing.
women are like that. Majority of women will not let shit go. They're gonna fucking bring it up. One day it's gonna be brought up. They're gonna throw that shit in your face. A man, I think he's like he don't bring it up because he doesn't want to think about it.
I think women and men cheat for different reasons. Do you believe that? Are you going to edit this part? The unedited version. Um, do you think that men and women cheat for different reasons? I do. And you kind of said
Women
it.
cheat emotional for
Yes,
emotional
for emotional
bullshit.
reasons.
I did it because I was a dog. I did it because I
I
like
truly
fucking women.
believe that.
I did it because I like women. I liked being around different women, and at that time, I was just doing it because actually my thing was I got sucked in. I think it was addiction for me. I think it was, okay because I think I told you
Yeah.
how many women have I've lost count, but I can tell you a rough number, and I'm not talking about having sex with the same fucking woman. I'm talking about individual women. It's a lot, and I was just in
It
it
could have
for.
been an addiction.
I think it was an addiction
It could
because
be.
I would fuck fatties, I would fuck ugly chicks, uh, drunk chicks. I mean, and whoever's giving it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just about the number. It was because me and my friends were like that. My friends were the same way. It was all about who was getting it laid, and it was all about the fucking number. So,
Yeah.
and then it became like a fucking addiction where I had to go out every fucking weekend, and do it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm at the clubs, and all I'm doing is scoping the place out and trying to find out, okay, who can I fuck with? And then I started getting stuck on fucking with the married women, and I was doing that shit for a long time. And you got to understand that when I was doing all this shit, I was in a relationship. I was with people. I was either married or I was in a fucking like 11-year off and on relationship with my kid's mother. So all that time, all those women, most of the majority of women that I have ever been with in my life, I was in relationships when I was doing it. But it became an
An
addiction,
addiction.
and it became I just want to see how far I can get, how far I can
A
get away
game.
with it. It was a game. If can I get away with it? It was like cat and mouse. Can I get away with it? My kid's mom would constantly tell me, "I know you're fucking doing something," but it's like, how do you know? You saw me doing something? Did somebody tell you they saw me doing something? She'd be like, no, but I know I'm not stupid.
You don't come
Okay, yeah,
home
you
or
don't come
yeah.
home until fucking 4 in the morning, 5 in the
Yeah.
morning, 6 in the morning. Yeah, I know you're doing something. It's like, well, if you ain't seen me, don't fucking accuse me of it, because if you start accusing me, I'm gonna go out and do it. And so that was always my excuse. Keep accusing me, I'm gonna go out and do it because you're still here.
God, you were horrible.
So I just kept on doing it, and it became, like I said,
Yeah. I feel
you're
like
back in
when
communication.
I feel like women do it out of loneliness or
But my thing started when I got out. My thing started when I got out because I got out at 18. And I hadn't been in sexual relationships and shit for all them years. I had a girlfriend before I got busted.
right.
One girlfriend. I've only had one girlfriend before from the time I was 18 down. I had one girlfriend, and she was like I'd had sex with her, okay. But I was not fucking with a bunch of girls. I had a girlfriend, and then I get busted. I'm gone for a couple years, and then I come home like, okay, well now I'm playing fucking catch up. I'm me and my cousin. I'm going out with my cousin picking up chicks and shit like that because I'm locked up for a while. Let me go get laid and shit like that. And it became like, then it just started. It started to snowball. It started to snowball after that, and I was like constantly fucking doing it. And I was just doing it just to fucking do it. And then it became the game of how far I can get away with it. And then it became the game where I had a fucking uh, a, a notebook, and I had names in there. All these fucking girls' names inside this notebook. And I used to keep it at my job, in my truck, in my work truck when I used to work at Central Freight Lines. And anytime I had a fucking sex with a different chick, when I got back to work on Monday, I'd write their names down in this fucking fucking book.
That is awful.
And I had at that time, this is in 2007. The last time I saw a book was like 250 names in that book. So I was fucking doing that shit, and then once you have a list of names, then you start fucking. It's even more of an addiction because like, okay, let me see if I can fill up this fucking page, and then me and my friends would go out and say, hey, like, see who's gonna get laid first, or who's gonna have the better chick at the end of the night. You know what I mean? So it became an addiction. But at the whole time I'm doing it, I'm fucking cheating on somebody. Mm-hmm. And that was the game. How far can I do it without getting caught? And I never got caught. The only time I got caught was by my own stupidity. And she takes me back out of her own fucking stupidity. Because she seen all the women's names and all their phone numbers in my fucking phone, in my phone records. And she called these women, and these women didn't even know I was with her. They didn't know nothing about her.
Well, yeah, you weren't coming home.
No, I told the girls I was
It's
single.
easy, yeah.
And so but like I said, she takes me back. Well, then don't bring it up no more. You're the ignorant person for taking me back. Don't bring it up no more. And again, but see, we tried to go on, and it didn't work. It didn't work because I kept on doing what I was doing anyway. And then she started to do it. And it's fucking funny because she was doing it and I was doing it at the same time. Mm-hmm. Do you see what I mean? Mm-hmm. When she got caught, I was still doing it. Mm-hmm. But I was like, nah, I'm not you.
Right.
I'm not you. I'm not fucking taking you back. I don't want to deal with that shit. You know what I mean? I know how it fucking feels. So, no.
Well, it's kind of like, I know you've done these other videos on this too. It's like once there's disrespect, once you start talking to each other a certain way, or you can't come back from that. You already crossed that line. So either you cross the line with hating someone, you cross the line with talking, fuck you, bitch, once you cross a bunch of lines, it's really hard to come back from any of those lines that were crossed. I truly feel it is. I mean, you would have to do some like crazy turnaround, either it be, I don't know. I couldn't.
But even the fucking turnaround, you could do, say for instance, you go to church. You go to church and you start doing that kind of stuff together, and you go to the counseling at the church and all that shit like that. It does not erase your fucking memory.
That's the thing.
Especially for a woman.
People can forgive, but they just don't forget.
Only the man, not the man, only the cheater can forget those things.
Because they want to. Yeah, they want to forget it.
Because they're the ones that are doing the cheating. But when you're cheated on, that's when it's like, yeah, no, you know what? I can't come back from that shit, man. I'll always think about that shit. I don't give a fuck. You go to church or you go to counseling. It doesn't matter to me. It's always going to stay in my mind what you were doing. And then like how you were getting away with, how long you were doing it. And most of the time when
all the lies
caught,
and
most of the time when people get caught, they're not really too honest about how long they've been doing it. They'll always say like, oh, it just started like a month ago, but it could be going on for a fucking year, because there was times where I was seeing women for a year or two and their husbands did not know it. And there was times I told stories about the husbands calling me and telling me like, hey man, you've been fucking with my wife. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not worried about you. Yeah, that's your wife. You want to be mad at somebody, be mad at her. Don't be mad at me. I'm not your fucking wife. You know what I mean? And it's like, how long? What? I've been seeing her for a fucking year now. It's like, what? How the fuck did you get away with that? No, ask your wife how she got away with it. Obviously, you ain't paying attention to your wife. if she can go out and fucking cheat on you for a whole year, you don't know she's doing it. So obviously there's a problem with your relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If your wife can get out in the middle of the fucking night while you're at work, obviously there's a problem with your fucking relationship. So go look at yourself. Evaluate your own shit. Don't talk to me because I'm the guy on the other end. I'm the guy behind the fucking curtain. You know, but again, I know them, and I know one of the guys had took his wife back, like, you know, and he took his wife back. I think it's because the guys that take their wife back is because they don't want to lose to another guy, and I think that women do the same thing. Women will take a man back because she don't want that man to go with that woman. Like, I'm not gonna lose to that motherfucker, that bitch. You know, who the fuck is that bitch? So I'll take him back, and that's the only motivation. It's not really to save the fucking family.
But it's a slow kill. It's a slow kill. It really is. I feel it is. It's just a slow kill to your own self-esteem. It's a slow kill to the relationship. It's an ugly place to be. They're just, no, I don't feel.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I think if you take somebody back, it is a slow. It's like
It's
a
a
slow death.
slow death.
You're gonna break your own self down. You're gonna wonder why this person did this to you, and then you're gonna try to fix these things, but you're only fixing these things for that person. You're not happy with yourself no more. Your self esteem, especially for women.
Yeah.
Women have an issue with their self esteem. Most men don't, but
I
women do.
did. Like I got cheated on, and I remember thinking, you know, I was just. I just remember thinking maybe I'm, you know, not skinny enough or pretty enough or smart enough or whatever it was, you know, it just always felt like I was never good enough.
And the fucking wildebeest chicks are the ones that think they are that. They think they're all that. It's always the pretty girls that think they're not good enough. I don't know why, but
Well, like in my case,
fuck.
okay, so in my case, I was a nerd in school. I was one of those little kids that got picked on. I spoke Spanish, didn't know English, so I took ESL classes when I was a kid. My mom used to make my own clothes. I wish I had photos so you could pop them up. I used to have Laura Ingle dresses. I'm showing my age right now, but Little House on the Prairie dresses, and my mom would put my hair in pigtails. And I used to go to a school that was primarily a bunch of white kids. So I used to get picked on, you know. I remember being little and we would walk. Nowadays people don't even let their kids walk home, but me and my brother, I was 2 years older than my brother. I just remember being in the second grade and him being in kindergarten, and the kids would just follow us, and I would get spit on and, you know, tripped and punched, and my hair pulled, and everything was made fun of, from my hair to my clothes to how I spoke, because I had an accent by that time.
In Azusa?
Yeah.
Fucking beaners out there.
So no. At that time, I was going to Gladstone Elementary in San Dimas. This is when my parents we moved out there, and then my parents got separated, and then we moved to Azusa. So I grew up in Azusa. So I went to Hodge Elementary School starting there in the 4th grade. And I remember in the 4th grade, as I left one school with all of that, and I went to the other one, and that getting picked on started right up. I remember there was a girl named Beth and her friend, I think it was Heather, Beth and Heather, and they would come by my desk and they would kick it, because I was really good in school. Like, school was my world. I never missed. I always did really well. I was an AB student. I had honors classes in high school. Even in high school, I never had a boyfriend. In high school. My mom didn't let me go to parties or anything, very sheltered religious home. So I wasn't popular or anything like that, but sports was everything to me. So I always played sports. But yeah, I was a wallflower. I feel like I didn't blossom till way later in college. I feel like I kind of found my who I was.
Somebody
I did. I went to Cal Poly Pomona.
not sure where that Jack in the Box.
I went to Cal Poly Pomona, and I went there for my one full year, and I went to summer school after that. And then after that, I didn't go back to school. I decided to take a semester off and never went back to school.
She didn't work.
No, I don't.
She works here. And big titties.
That's where I work.
But anyway, that's the video. I just wanted to get perspective, male and female perspective. My opinion is no, you can't come back from it. If you get cheated on or you're being disrespected in your relationship, you might as well just fucking let it go because it's like she said, it's a slow fucking death. Little by little, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. Me personally, I don't know anybody that has ever came back from that. I know people that have
That have
tried
Yeah.
and wasted fucking 3 4 more years and still with the same fucking outcome. Obviously, if you're cheating on your fucking wife or your husband, you ain't happy with them. So you might as well get out of it and go find somebody that you're happy with instead of trying to work on the same old shit because everything usually goes back to the way that it was.
I think if you're listening to this and you are cheating and you're the cheater, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I staying in a relationship that I'm not happy in? Obviously, I'm not happy. And why am I wasting not only my time, but her time? And if you guys have kids together, your kids, believe it or not, do pick up on that. They do pick up on it. Why are you putting your kids through that? Your children deserve to see both parents happy. If they're not happy together, then let your kids see them happy separate because you can both be happy and co-parent happily together. Ask yourself why you're cheating. And then if you're being cheated on, you deserve to be happy as well. Why are you taking back somebody that you know has hurt you? Because at this point, it's not their bad. That is your bad. You're allowing it and you're taking it in, and ask yourself, why am I allowing this behavior to happen to me? Get out of it. You deserve to be happy. It's our one life in this world. Choose happiness. You can still co-parent. You can still separate friendly terms. It's doable. I've seen it happen. It has happened to me. It can be a happy ending going separate ways.
In my opinion, is if you're fucking doing it and your woman's accusing you of doing it and she still stays with you, well, then she's a fucking idiot and you can continue doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? She's accusing you and she's still there. But at the same time, just know it's gonna fucking fall apart eventually. Eventually, she's gonna fucking get tired of it. And the longer you wait, if you're married and you have kids, the longer you wait, the more money you're gonna pay. It's not cheaper to keep her. Get rid of her now. Go find a relationship where you're happy and you ain't got to do all that shit because obviously whatever you're doing it for a reason. So whatever those reasons are, you can get rid of her and find somebody that makes you happy and keeps you from doing those kind of things. Mm-hmm. I mean, it took a long time for me to figure that shit out and to be in the relationship that I'm in where I don't think about that kind of stuff no more. You know what I mean? I don't think about fucking around and other women. I mean, to me, it's like now it's not worth it. Now after I've seen all the things that I was going through and all the starting over again, which fucking sucks, you know, all because of me fucking around, you know, losing everything every single time, it's not worth it. And then all the money that I paid, like I think I told you guys in another video, I think it was over to $250,000 in child support in them years that I was paying. That's $250,000. And I wish that I had that $250,000 in my fucking bank account right now. But that's just the way it is, man. All because of my own stupidity, fucking around. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have to do all that. You know what I mean? I could have fucking. But on the other hand, if I didn't do all the things I was doing, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? So it's a good and bad to it. Yeah, you know, I'm where I am right now because I had to go through all those things and do all those stupid ass things to learn to appreciate my wife and not be disrespectful to my wife. That's the biggest thing. Not to be disrespectful to my wife, especially to other fucking people. You know what I mean? And that's what happens when you fuck around. Because most of the time, you're in conversations with the other person. You're telling the other person your problems. And that's a lot of times how cheating starts. When
Yeah.
you start telling your problems to another person instead of going to your wife or your husband. And me and my wife had a discussion yesterday. I don't go to nobody else to tell nobody my issues. If I have any issues, I go talk to my wife, but I don't talk to my friends. You know, and I don't need somebody else's fucking advice. You know, I tell my wife, I've told my wife a couple times already, do not give fucking advice to your friends. It'll blow up in your fucking face. I
Yeah.
don't like giving advice to my fucking friends. You know what I mean? Uh, if they have something to say about their relationships, I'll listen to them. But as far as giving them advice, I don't like giving them fucking advice. And it's worse for women because when a woman's going through shit, and she goes to her friends and they give her advice and she uses that fucking advice and it doesn't work out, you're the person they're gonna blame later on. Like, well, she's the one who I said I should do this and I did it and this, and now all of a sudden you're part of their fucking problem because she's gonna go back and tell her husband, well, she's the one who told me I should do this or she said this, and next thing you know, everybody there's a big fucking problem. So it's like, don't give people your advice. Listen to them as your friend, as a friend, and that's it. Let them go through what they got. Let them figure it out on their own. But you know, my opinion is that you can't come back from it. You might as well just leave it alone and go on with your life and start all over again and don't waste any more time that you're never gonna get back.
It's our one life. There's going to be a bunch of forks in the road. You got to choose left or right all the time. It's always, but choose happiness. It's your one life. Don't live it hurting other people forever. Don't live it hurting yourself, you know? Everyone deserves peace in their life. So I don't think
And
you can come from it either.
no. So, anyways, that's the video. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Again, I'm about 100 people away from hitting that 1,000. So if you can help me out, subscribe to the channel. It's free. You ain't gotta do shit. You ain't paying for it. Just hit subscribe and that's it. And like the videos. But anyways, that's the video, and I'll be talking to you guys later.
Bye.